Before 9-inch nails built cathedrals of industrial noise, before the Weeknd made darkness a global pop phenomenon. There was a band that taught the world that shadows have a sound. They gave synthesizers a soul and darkness a danceable melody. But how did 4 unassuming boys from Basildon, England, become the architects of a sound that would redefine electronic music forever? It began in 1980, in the most unlikely of places. This wasn't Berlin or New York, it was Basildon. Their early sound, crafted by synth whiz Vince Clarke, was pure, effervescent pop. With hits like Just Can't Get Enough, they were on a path to becoming chart-topping sweethearts. But then the architect of their sound was gone. For most bands, this would be the end. For Depeche Mode, it was the true beginning. With Martin Gore as their guide, the bright pop melodies began to rust. This transformation was supercharged by Alan Wilder, a classically trained musician who became the band's chief sonic architect. Albums like Black Celebration and Music for the Masses were less pop, more prophecy. And then in 1990 came the masterpiece, Violator. Personal Jesus was a swampy electronic stomp that felt both sacred and profane. Enjoy the Silence was a synth-pop ballad turned into a stadium-sized anthem, a cathedral of sound built on melancholy. This was their new identity, moody, atmospheric, and deeply, painfully human. The world listened. Depeche Mode did something once thought impossible for an alternative electronic band. They conquered stadiums. The echoes of their DNA are everywhere. They influenced fashion, turning black leather and sharp silhouettes into a global uniform for the disenfranchised. But their most profound impact was as a lifeline. For millions, their songs about alienation, desire, and faith were a form of secular communion, a voice that understood them when nobody else did. Through decades of triumph and turmoil they endured. The recent passing of Andy Fletcher, the band's quiet anchor, cast a somber shadow. Yet true to their spirit, they returned with an album poignantly titled Memento Mori, Remember You Must Die. Depeche Mode proved that electronic music could have a heart. They didn't just play music. They built a universe of sound and shadow and invited us all to live inside it.